My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Rimworld and Northeast Miskatonic. In the last episode we ended on a bit of a raid there with some, well, 4 deep ones attacking us, and we managed to see them off with relative ease. One of the lasting effects we have had, however, is if we take a look at Quinn here, for example. Oh, it's gone. Yes, they did have a negative 40 mood modifier caused by observed deep one. So that looks like it's abated now, which is good. We will need to get these corpses shifted out of the way of the course, and I think what we'll do to handle those corpses is put down a burial pit. Now, I do believe this is in miscellaneous. There it is, mass grave. And where do we want to put it? If we just put it over here, a little bit out of the way, yeah. And once that's constructed, we'll make sure that they only take monstrous corpses, which obviously includes the deep one corpses, and then they'll be buried and forgotten. There's a quest here about the nameless amulet. Haven't accepted that yet. We can always come back to them in the future. That's no big problem. What I'd like to do today is hopefully get Amy converted and get her back into the righteous path, if you know what I mean. Unfortunately, at the moment, she's still incapacitated. She did go catatonic in the last episode. I believe I may have cut it out of the final release version, if that makes sense. But, yeah, she did go catatonic, which is a bit of a shame, because it means we can't do any interactions with her until she's back up on her feet, which is going to slow down the conversion process, of course. But hopefully, pretty soon, she'll be back up and about, and we can continue our efforts to get her to rejoin our religion and free her from her captivity. Now, what I would like to do is get this built pretty quickly. So, Quinn, okay, you're having your breakfast. Well, that's okay. You do need breakfast, of course. Build the pit first of all, and then the mass grave. Yes, the generator can wait a little while, and then yeah, what we're going to do here, go into storage. And we want monstrous corpses only, but not human corpses. So now we should be able to bury these in this mass grave. Quinn is going to obviously do some work on the spike traps, which is good. We need to get our defences back up and running. Q is working on the geothermal generator, and we have some traders wandering in. Let's see what they have for us. Alright, so we still don't have a lot of silver to use. We do have that silver vein quite nearby. Do we have anything that we'd want to sell to them? We could sell some jade. Well, we'd net 11 silver for that, so that's not going to get us very far. We'll sell the magicite as well. That takes us to 73. So around about 160 available to spend, and I don't think there's going to be much that interests me for that sort of price. Could pick up a couple of units of Glitterworld medicine, but we have 6, and I think that's enough for now. So instead we'll just accept the selling of some of our wares and the picking up of the silver, and then we'll conclude our business, I should say. But there we go, the geothermal generator is now up and running. We are naturally going to want to connect that to our power grid. So let's get some, we'll go for the underground conduits where possible to keep them hidden from view. So we don't need to see the conduits where we can avoid it, of course. The spike traps are being relayed there by Quinn, as discussed a few moments ago. We'll get Bourne, who I don't think was doing much importance, to come through and bury these deep ones for us to get them off of our map. They don't seem to affect them when they're dead. It's only when they're alive that you get the negative mood modifier, but it's always good to clean up anyway. And there we go, that's a recurve bow research now unlocked, so let's take a minute here and decide what we want to go for next. I think we'll go for smithing. That unlocks the production of quite a few tools and unlocks some more advanced workbenches as well. So yeah, smithing is our next research target. Bourne is just burying the last of the deep ones there. That's them all gone. These do have a capacity of 20, so we have quite a bit of space for any future raids that may occur. One thing I am keen to do is, as soon as Amy is back as a true believer, I want to start doing more incantations. That's been a big problem for us so far, maintaining our corruption levels at a decent levels so that any visitors to our compound aren't immediately able to convert our colonists away from the true path. Oh, there we go. Amy is back up on her feet. So we'll immediately use a conversion power attempt via Q. Last time it didn't have much effect. This time it didn't have much effect either. But a double whammy here is going to bring her certainty down quite a bit. There we go, 27%. So ever so slowly inching towards having her return to us, as she should do. Okay, we have an event here. A lone survivor has arrived. They are not well. A victim of the plague in a nearby colony. Riddled with disease, they wander at the edge of your colony. Let's have a look at these. So they are berserk in mental state. This is Takeo Brady, a drifter of the strangers. Nice plant skill and construction, and nice animal. In fact, pretty decent all-round skills there. Let's have a look at their biography. Lovely traits, very, very nice traits. Obviously, the plague is a bit of a problem, and they've also got an infection as well. Do we? The age isn't great though, is it? It's 87 years old, so they're obviously very, very old. Wouldn't be a... Try to rescue them wouldn't be a bad idea for the skill set that they bring, but could we treat the plague? Would we be successful in treating the plague? And how easy is it to spread amongst our colonists? An infectious disease caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. Well, it doesn't say how communicable it is. I imagine there's got to be some sort of risk of transferring the disease, so... tough one. That is a tough one. I think we'll leave it for now. As you can probably see here, I've queued up quite a few chunks of sandstone to be mined. I'd like to boost our sandstone reserve, so I've only got 87 at the moment, because I want to start putting in some nice defences around here in the very near future. And what do we have here? Some abnormal creatures have arrived. Let's have a look at these. Ah, Dark Young, yes, these are not hostile, although if you attack them they will obviously attack you back. We could attempt to tame them if we wanted to, but there's no harm in just leaving them to wander around the end of the map. Well, Brady died of snow hair. Okay, well, that's sorted that one out for us. Brady is dead. So even if I wanted to rescue him now, obviously we have that ship has sailed, shall we say? He's gone. Okay, we've struck Jade. We knew that was there anyway, because it was exposed on this corner, so we knew there was a vein there. But it's obviously now been recognised by our colonists. How's Amy doing in terms of her resistance, if you will? 26%, and it increases by 1.4% per day. So yeah, the catharsis there is not helping situation, of course. It's giving her a bit of a boost to her mood. So the conversion efforts will be slowed down a little over the next few days while that catharsis takes, well, while it is in effect, I should say. Once that's gone, however, we should be in a position to quite quickly take her down and get her back in the colony. Now that the geothermal generator's done, of course, we can think about putting in our growing area. So we want structure. How much bone do we have? Oh, we've got plenty of bone, so it will be a bone wall. And I think we are going to have it double thickness, and that'll obviously greatly increase the insulation. And if we have it, I think we'll go for something... No, we don't want to go across there. What we're going to do is going to have it like that, and we'll have a doorway in this sort of area, and this whole area here will be for farmland. So let's just extend this out this way a bit. It's going to be too big, I believe, for this geothermal generator to handle by itself, of course, but we will be able to assist the generator in its heating efforts with some radiators, so that's no problem. We want a couple of bone doors so our colonists can get in and out, of course. And once that's done, we'll put the skylights in. Hopefully we're going to have enough glass. We've got 24. Obviously, to get more glass, I do believe you need to smelt steel. We've still got the steel vein here and a bit of steel to bring back. We have the steel veins up here as well, and the one we spotted over here, which looks like it could be quite substantial. So I think in terms of the steel, we're gonna be okay, although it is a shame to have to use it to make the glass, but if we want the skylights, that's what we've got to do. 25% now, so down to a quarter. I think she started on around about 50%. Can we burn corpses here? No, we cannot. Okay, I wanted to get rid of these rotted corpses, although they will deteriorate over time, of course, because they are left outdoors, so we'll just leave it and let them deteriorate naturally. How are we in terms of food? I think... oh no, we've got plenty of meat. Well, 142 units of meat, so that's enough to keep us going for now. In terms of animals on the map, we don't have much. What do we have? Oh, we have muffalo down here. Well, let's haul that muffalo back, and we may as well have the rest hunted before they wander off. We may as well use them rather than having the dark young consume them. I'd rather us have the meat, of course. So there we go, making a start on our little farm area, of course. Gabe has begun losing their sanity. That's obviously because they've observed the dark young. The muffalo have taken revenge. Let's see how many of them. Be careful not to hit the dark young. Okay. What did I just say? This could be trouble. We might have to get some backup out here. Born, Gabe, yeah, Gabe and Quinn, you two will need to come and assist on. In fact, we'll get Born down as well. He has some psychic, he has some powers we could use. There's Gabe. Gabe was on hand quite close, which is good. The Dark Young is nearly down. Q isn't doing too badly. Only 2 conditions that require tending. And that's only a bruise and a bite. The toxic build-up isn't great, but if we can avoid any more major hits, that shouldn't be a problem. There we go, the Dark Young is down. Q, can you tend to yourself? No, you cannot. Do we have anybody? Who's our... I know Amy was our medic, but obviously she's not going to help us out at the moment. Tend to Q, please, Gabe. Just to stem the bleeding. It's not bleeding out, of course, but we may as well stem it off sooner rather than later. There we go. So everybody can go back about their business now. Sorry for the interruption there. The muffalo has gone manhunter again. That's both of them this time. So we're going to have to start retreating. Oh no, we should be okay. It's just the one now. And Q is a decent shot, so she should be okay here. There we go, no problems at all. That's all of the muffalo taken care of, and one of the Dark Young. I would have been quite happy to leave the Dark Young to its own affairs, but yes, a stray bullet changed that plan. Quinn's making short work of the bone walls around our little farm area, so that's good to see. It shouldn't take too much long before that's all completed. That's only one muffalo left to be brought back. I did see Gabe was slaughtering one of them previously, and here he goes again. Plenty of meat on hand now, so that should keep us going for the next couple of days without any sort of problems whatsoever. Born, is there anything we can do to help you out, my friend? Oh, you're still, yes, you're still greedy for an impressive bedroom, aren't you? Well, how much wood do we have? 54. I don't think that's going to be enough to... Although, no, we don't want to use bone. We tend to use bone for our walls. The sandstone's been boosted quite nicely, 247. Now, yes, what I was saying about the security situation down here, my plan is to have some reinforced ditches staggered along the way, because they really do slow down enemies when they cross them. And then all around the outside of a kill box, if you will, we're going to put down some braziers. I think the castle wall abrasures have the highest hit points, and these enable our colonists to fire through safely. They can be hit in return, but these do provide a nice amount of cover. And we could also have some turrets flanking down either side, and to prevent our colonists from having to cross all the ditches every time they want to leave our little compound, we'll put some reinforced doors along, say here, through a tunnel, so our colonists will head through this way. The doors will obviously remain closed at all times, and visitors will also be able to use this corridor. Enemies should be more inclined to come in through this way. So that's the plan. It should work out okay. It's going to give us more defense than we currently have. This is obviously very, very basic and very rudimentary, although it does help us out quite nicely, as we saw when the deep ones came to pay us a little visit. It did take down 2 of them. What do we have here? Agatha Mayer, the first all-theist of southern Hadsabarium, is asking for your help. Her enemies have been harassing her settlements. She wants your help using signals to draw them towards Innsmouth and away from her people. If she does, her enemies will activate a site nearby to harass you. There's a psychic suppressor machine tuned to the male gender, and 4 man-hunting squirrels are wandering nearby. The site will remain active until you go and destroy it. Okay, so for that we could either take some Arsalium, a psychic animal pulsar, or 15 units of goodwill, a marble decorative plant pot of good quality, and a concrete small sculpture of good quality. How long on... I'm going to disregard that. It wouldn't have been too difficult to do, but we're a bit stretched thin at the moment, and I wouldn't want to spare too many colonists to have to go out and deal with that. Yes, obviously the 4-man hunting squirrels, they wouldn't be too much of a problem, of course, but it's just the fact that our colonists would have to leave for several days, and we don't know how far away the site would be. Okay, the Dark One has decided to come and pay us a visit, so let's get everybody into some sort of defensive formation. Okay, there we go, and again we came off relatively unscathed. We've got some toxic build-up again and another bite that Bourne suffered, but other than that, nothing too severe. So let's 10 Bourne ASAP. Alright, there we go. Gabe, you can undraft yourself, there's no need to keep drafted. So as you can see, the outer wall is now completed. Quinn is constructing the roof area. Obviously the roof will be replaced with skylights very soon, but for now the roofs will be fine. We can see what sort of effect it's going to have on the temperature. I mean, already we're up to 4 degrees in here compared to -2 outside. So that's gonna, yeah, it's gonna insulate quite nicely. Might need a little bit more help in the winter time, of course. Bourne has wandered in a daze. Well, that's not the worst thing in the world, and I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine, and don't really have to keep an eye on him. Right, so what we want to do now, as I said, we have a visitor, a deep space miner. She has a few items to trade, so we'll wait for her to get close, then we'll have a look at that. So yes, skylights. So a 3x3 skylight requires 3 units of glass. We have 24. And I believe I'm laying these correctly here. I believe this, the larger of the squares is the area that will allow light in. So that's what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 units of glass out of 24. So we don't have much left. We can smelt more, of course. And if we put a couple, if we put one there, and if we have enough, do we have enough? No, run out of glass. But that, we'll see what sort of effect this has, because we'll see the light level and whether or not the crops are able to grow once we turn this into soil. There's the research of smithing finished. Let's have a look what we want to go for next. I think we'll go for makeshift weapons next. It unlocks obviously some nice makeshift weapons for us to construct. We can either use them for ourselves if they're decent quality, or we can sell them to passing traders. What do we have here? We have a blocked shower. Q. Okay, you will not do that, Gabe. If you just clean out that shower for me. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Now, what's everybody up to? Yep, Born, you're in your days. Quinn, you're repairing the spike traps. A couple of the skylights have been put in. There we go. So what's the light level here? Oh, it's dark. Well, it's night time, of course. Never mind. How much glass do we have left? 4 units of glass. Yes, and nothing else still to be constructed. Right, let's have a look. So a 2x2 costs 2 glass. So we could put 1 there. And where else would 1 go? That costs 2. We could put 1 there, and that'll give us decent light coverages. I think there's a little bit in the middle there where we'll have to get some more glass to finish that off, but that's fine. Q, what are you up to? Right, just go and see what Prissy has to trade for me, please, my dear. What do you have? Well, you'll take some of these goods off our hands. Yeah, you can take those. Although you don't have much silver. 316. We could take some components off you. 3 survival. No, we'll forgo the survival meals. We'll get some medicine. And some components. There we go. So you can afford that. That's not a bad trade, I don't think. A bit more medicine and components never goes amiss. And of course we've also increased our silver supplies as well. So overall a pretty decent trade, I think, for those items of clothing that we weren't using anyway. Alright, so Amy's certainty is down to 17%. So slowly chipping away there. Down to 14 now, which is good. Need these skylights constructing. I guess Quinn will be on that pretty soon. In fact, there she goes now, although we have a sermon. So, sermon first. Oh, I think she missed it. Yep, she missed it. Never mind. Okay, so, yes, there's a slight area of darkness here, as we can see. So, we're going to need some more glass just to illuminate this bit. But for the most part, we are nicely illuminated in here now, so this will now grow crops, and we've not had to use a sun lamp, which is a big saving on the old power. So what we want to do now is zone down a growing area. We may as well just go for the whole lot. Obviously these plants here will not grow, we know that. And what do we want to grow? Rice, perhaps? Initially, just to get us started. Yeah, I think we'll go for rice initially, like I said, just to get the ball rolling on that front. Our sandstone reserves are looking a lot healthier now. Amy has gone berserk, so she's going to attack anybody she sees. Well, okay, you're going to break out, are you? So, Quinn, stand by. And in fact, we'll get Gabe here as well. Between the two of them, they should be able to handle Amy. Hopefully they don't kill her. Very good. Great shooting, guys. So Gabe, you need to stabilise Amy. How badly wounded is she? A couple of shots in the shoulder, 1 in the arm. Nothing too bad. 1 in the leg, and I think the clavicle is in the leg, I can't remember. And yeah, 1 in the nose, bit of blood loss, nothing too drastic, so she should make a full recovery. Hopefully won't have any infections and sepsis, of course. That would be an utter disaster. Right, you need to now arrest her. Capture her, I should say. And we need a door. Right, so we want structure, bone door there and there, please. And Quinn, I'd like you to prioritise the door. There we go. That's Amy safely locked up once again. And I'm sure she's now no longer incapable of walking. She's going to make a full recovery. Obviously, providing she doesn't get sepsis, of course, that would be the worst. Right, who is set to grow our plants? Q has a skill of 3. Right, I'm going to set Quinn to level 1 on that, because this is going to be quite an important thing to do, and she does have a nice little flame of passion there for horticulture, so she will develop her skills very quickly. So progress is slowly being made. It is a case of 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards, but we are getting there. The rice has gone in. Well, some of it has gone in, as we can see. So that's great. That's a nice milestone. Our own little indoor farming area. So we've got year-round crop production available. We've struck some more jade up there. That's great. Okay, right. We've got plenty of the sandstone now. So I'm going to make a start. In fact, no, the first thing I'm going to do is actually start flooring some of these bedrooms. Obviously, Bourne's greedy for an impressive bedroom, and putting a floor down is going to help him. They're pretty to look at. Yep, we'll go for sandstone tiles. Like that. Just in your room for now. See what effect it has on the beauty rating of your room. We've almost finished researching the makeshift weapons, which is fantastic. Couldn't have spoke at a better time, really. Let's see what we want to go for next. I think we'll go for ENIAC. That allows us to get higher levels of research, and we can construct the ENIAC, which is the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. We can also put an antenna tower down, which is a bigger version of the orbital trade beacon, and a radio terminal. So I think we'll research that next. A lot of the techs, I do believe, are hidden behind that research, so it's important that we get it sooner rather than later, rather than just scratching around at the lower level of technology. How's this bedroom looking? Sort up to mediocre, so decent improvement already just by laying these sandstone tiles down for him. There we go. Decent bedroom. Has that now sorted your mood out? Now you want impressive bedroom. Okay. Well, I think just a couple of plant pots now should be enough to sort that out for you. So yeah, we'll give Bourne a few plant pots. That should help boost his beauty rating in his room and cheer him up just a bit. Quinn, what's annoying you at the moment? Oh yeah, we had an awful sermon. Okay. Well, I do apologise for that. It's just the way it goes sometimes. At this point, we can now put some more lighting in here. We have plenty of steel. So let's go ahead and do that. So more wall lights around the place just to brighten it up. What is the lit level in there? So in the middle, so yeah, all this area will be 50% once these lights are installed. And then we'll need some along the back wall there, and then we'll no longer have any darkness in there whatsoever. At some point we'll probably put some nice flooring in there, some columns as well. That'll help boost the beauty rating of that room. It's already slightly impressive, so it's not the worst in the world, but we can always make it better, of course. Alright, there we go. In fact, it's now lit throughout, so I don't think that affects the room's beauty rating, but they're no longer going to be in darkness, which is obviously good for their mood. Oh, you're already coming to attempt to convert Amy, which is good. 3/4 of the way recharged on the conversion power. 7.9%. So it's painstakingly slow, but we are getting there, which is the main thing. Once this has been mined out here by Q, which shouldn't take long, we will I'm going to plan out how I want this sort of kill box area to look. So right, there we go. So what we want, where's plans? I can't remember where plan is. It's not in miscellaneous, is it? No. Is it in orders? Yes, it is orders. So what I'm looking for is something up there. Probably all abrasiures. The same up there. That needs to be mined out. And then along here we'd have a solid wall. Through here is where we'd have our means of access and egress. Obviously we'd have doors at every single tile. That way if anybody tries to break through, it's going to take them a good long time to get through, rather than just having one door and then they're in. Over here, we wouldn't need any walls on the back side over here. Over here, we would have another line of abrasures. And then through the middle, we would have reinforced ditch, and reinforced ditch. and then we can add to that over time. So that's the plan. It's going to cost us a heck of a lot of sandstone, I believe, but we can make a start, and the first thing we want to make a start on, I think, is going to be the castle wall embrasures. Look at that, 15 sandstone blocks per tile. So just to give you an idea as to what we want it to look like, it's going to be like that. That needs to be mined out. This will just be solid wall. In fact, no, that we wouldn't even need solid wall there. We can actually remove that plan, I think. Yeah, we can get rid of that. That needs to be mined out and replaced with doors. So we're going to need a lot more sandstone to accomplish this. But even these first few abrasions are going to help us have a nice, a bit more defensive security, because we can obviously have our colonists lined up behind here and pour it on as the enemies start to breach through. So yeah, we need more sandstone. So what we'll do is we want a mining order, and we're just basically gonna, we'll strip mine straight through there like that, and we can always branch off and start doing strip mines into the mountain as well at some point, and we'll see how much this yields. I don't think we have any more stone blocks ready to be cut up. No, we do not. And how many? In fact, we have no sandstone left. It's all being delivered to the blueprints already. Although we have a few down here, which... oh, there's probably quite a lot down here, actually. Yeah, let's haul those sandstone chunks. May as well make use of those. Oh, granite. Do we have granite nearby? Because if we did... let's haul all those sands. I know there's some over here that we're going to be hauling, but that's fine. Yes, if we could... oh, there's some granite. I guess this is marble up here. Yeah, that's all marble. Yeah, swapping out from sandstone to granite would be a great boost to the hit points and how secure we are. Obviously, that's something we can do in the future. It's better to have a little bit of something rather than a whole lot of nothing, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, for now, this will work. It's gonna be a decent start, if nothing else. So yeah, it's plenty of more sandstone blocks available there for somebody to carve up for us, of course. So these have hit points of 1120. So yes, compared to, do we have any sandstone walls anywhere? I suppose these, yeah, 400. Yeah, around about 400, I guess a normal sandstone wall would have. So big improvement. Q, go and attempt to convert Amy for me. 5%, and then go and do a normal attempt. 2.9%. I think in the next 24 hours we're going to have Amy back in the fold. She's going to be a bit annoyed that we have to arrest her, of course she is, but she'll soon get over that, I'm sure. Yeah, once Amy is released, because she is our great nameless one, we are then going to use her to do a lot more incantations. We need to stop being so easily swayed from the true path by any visitors that wander through. We might have to span down some more of these obelisks as well to make sure the corruption rating isn't dropping too quickly. But that's no problem. Oh, we have a raid. A group. Oh, so they're only tribes people. There's quite a few of them, though. In terms of ranged weapon, we have throwing shards and throwing knives, a little bit more dangerous. We have a recurved bow, another recurved bow, some throwing rocks, nothing too dangerous there, another recurved bow, and a spear. So they are all armed with ranged weaponry. Okay, so this could get rather interesting rather quickly. At least we have some sort of protection in place. They are going to, I think it did say they're going to prepare for a while before they attack. It's a shame that the Dark Youngs aren't still on the map. They would have been quite useful right now. And I must say, it's nice to see the map without all the snow on the ground for once. It's good to see. So we'll let our colonists rest. Okay, they're on the way now, so now we're going to wake everybody up. We need everybody to position. Could really do with giving Born a ranged weapon. Sadly, we don't have any available. And we'll have to craft one. We do have the ability to make our own weaponry now, as we know. Yes. So yes, they can fire back, as we can see. But we have a decent amount of protection here. And you know what? Let's chase them down. Will we be able to get the other one? Probably not. Right, that was a very successfully well-defended raid. We'll take the recurve bows. In fact, we'll take it all. We'll not use most of this, of course. We have a survivor, bleeding out in 4 hours. Nice construction, very nice mining skill. Very nice indeed. Undergrounder, nice. Pessimist, bit of a mood negative there, but that's not... Right, we're going to capture him. He could come in useful. So, Gabe, come and stabilise, and then we're going to capture, arrest, and attempt to convert him. He does have a benign growth in the leg and a bit of eyesight loss, but that's fine. So his shooting's not going to be the best. But hey, if he can dig out and mine for us, that's going to free up people like Quinn and Q to take care of other jobs. Right, yes, capture the gentleman. I can't remember his name. What's his name? We'll see in a moment when we drop him off. Pemarken. Camneo Pemarken. Yes, so prisoner interaction, convert. There we go. Another person to try and convert there for you, Q. Fill your boots. Right, once all this is cleared up, we're going to call it a day. Hopefully we'll get Amy converted before the end of proceedings. Pemarken's developed an infection, so yeah. Tend to him, please, as a matter of... If we can get on top of this infection, that'd be great. Let's see how this infection goes. I mean, if he does die, he dies. It's not going to be the end of the world, of course. But it would have been nice to have somebody else. Come on, Q, can you do it this time? 1.7%. Right, it's got to be the next time. And yeah, once Amy's back in the fold, that's where we're going to end it today. She's fully healed, which is great to see, so we didn't have any infections or sepsis from the injuries she sustained during her breakout, which is really good to see. Got a nice amount of loot here to bring back, and corpses for food and for the clothing, which we can... Well, can't do much with it. Okay, is that another infection? Yes, it is. So we've got an infection in the right leg and one in the left leg. Although look at that, it looks like the immunity from the initial infection has carried over. So he might be able to fight off one of them. But it does allow us to give him another round of treatment. There we go. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. If needs be, we can always amputate the leg. As a last resort, of course. But there we go, we've got Amy back. Absolutely fantastic. So Amy, you can now be released. Q, release. Amy, welcome back. Glad to have you with us once again. We've missed you. Set owner, Amy, this is your bedroom. Hope you enjoy it. It's surely a lot better than the we've recently been spending some of your time. So yeah, her mood's going to be a bit low because, yeah, although only -6, so not the worst in the world. But yes, it's nice to have Amy back. So yeah, I think on that positive note, we will end it for today. We'll see how we get on with Pemarken in the next episode. As I said, if needs be, we can just amputate one of the legs. Although the immunity is not doing too badly, at least not in the left leg. It's okay. In the right leg, we're keeping pace, but it could be better. Let's allow him to have the best quality medicine for the next round of tending. And then if we can save him, then all the better. If not, well, we tried. Yeah, his mining skills would have come in handy, of course. But yes, we're going to leave it there for today. Quite an interesting episode with the Dark Youngs attacking us, and then a reasonably sized raid taking place at the end there. There we go, Amy. Oh yes, of course, you're our best medic, so good to have you back there, and you just tended to him. And that should give a nice boost to the immunity there. Oh, well, it's going to slow down the infection spread, hopefully enough for the immunity to start catching up. But we'll see what happens in the next episode. So yes, all that means for me to say is, as always, ladies and gentlemen, take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.